We're live with Lunch Break Live. Take it away, Jordan.
Hi, everyone. I'm about to make my vegan strawberry horchata cakes. And it's super simple, kind of a one-bowl wonder. Let's take it away. So we've got our dry ingredients here. We're going to start with, wait, let me just see what's first in my recipe because that's what I'll be sending. Yes, so we've got 7.1 ounces of white flour here. We've got unbleached organic stone ground flour. Along with that, we're going to add 5.3 ounces of light muscovado sugar or coconut sugar straight into the bowl, followed by 3.5 ounces of almond flour, which is an ingredient I use in literally all of my recipes. It's one of the most essential ingredients in vegan baking, I think. Straight in. So this is so easy. We're just throwing all the dries together. And then in here, I've got a mixture of cinnamon, baking powder, and salt. And we're just going to add all of that in. And we're just going to do a quick combine of these dries. I really like just to use a stand mixer for everything, but you really could just do this one with a spatula and a bowl. So we're just going to combine that to the point of it, just being nicely incorporated, but not overdoing it. And then we're going to just add our milk and our olive oil and vanilla. And then literally we're like done with the mixture. It's crazy easy. So we've got 1 cup of rice milk here. Straight in. We've got half a cup of olive oil. And this is light olive oil. You could use extra virgin, but it does impart, a bit more flavor, obviously. So it depends what you prefer. And then while that's just slowly going, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I always eyeball this.
Love it. This is such an easy recipe, Jordan.
Isn't it? I know.
Yes.
So easy.
Keep bringing us through. I love the steps. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I have 3 top baking tips that I've taught myself over my career as a baker. The first one is to always use the best quality ingredients that you can get your hands on. It truly does make a difference to your baking. That might be kind of an obvious thing to say, but I feel like a lot of people sacrifice just the quality of their cocoa powder or their chocolate chips, and it is going to affect the taste of your baking at the end. The second one is relevant to this exact thing that I'm doing right now, which is not over mixing. So when you're using a flour that contains any kind of gluten, the more that you work it, the more that the strands are going to develop and you'll end up with a tough crumb. So really, I'm just taking that to the very edge of it being incorporated. And then the third one is getting to know your oven, because the way it bakes in the oven is obviously very much going to affect how it turns out. So every oven is very different, and it's kind of a tricky thing to get to know your one, but once you do, you can do anything. So now that we've got our batter, and you'll see it's this kind of beautiful cinnamony color, and it smells incredible with all that vanilla in there. This recipe yields 10 mini cakes. So I like to call them mini cakes. They're essentially cupcakes, but they're like a big cupcake, and they're not going to be in a liner. So I'm using these kind of handmade non-stick liners just made out of parchment paper, and stuck them into my tray. And we're just going to divide this batter evenly between the 10 muffin holes, like so. You can just eyeball it.
Now, I just want to say, this is you make it look so smooth and easy, Jordan. And I love that you take the concepts of traditional desserts or drinks and transform them into a cake. So in this instance, this is this horchata rice milk drink, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to explain. Yeah. It's so fun taking the concepts of traditional, dishes or drinks or desserts and making them into cake form. I think there's always a way to do it. And this one, it really does embody those flavors of one of my favorite drinks ever, which is horchata, which you get so often in LA.
Now, in 2010, you were living in New Zealand and you had a life-changing decision and founded the Caker. So tell us this concept. It's so interesting. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I've been baking since I was a little kid, since maybe 5 years old when I could just about reach the kitchen bench. I was taught by my grandparents predominantly how to bake. And I guess throughout the years as I was growing up, I just became more and more obsessed with it. And it was kind of all I wanted to do. When I got home from school, I just pushed the homework aside and I just got into the kitchen and baked. So I guess, maybe fast forward to graduating college, and I make a particularly good cake one day. And my dad said, you're obsessed with this. You're so good at it. Why don't you do something about it? So I started a little blog, back when blogs were all the rage. And it was called The Caker, kind of just by accident. And then overnight, it kind of turned into this vehicle for selling cakes because everyone was intrigued by this kind of homemade style offering that I was offering. Because at the time, there was only kind of two places that were doing quite like mass-made, machine-produced cakes that just all tasted quite generic and didn't focus on the ingredients. And so it kind of just took off quite quickly. And it's like fast forward 5 years, I've got my own bakery space. I've got some staff. My sister Anouk joins me, and we develop our line of cake kits, so which are all vegan except for one. And with this product that we realized we could scale with, we decided to set our sights on the US. So that's when we started looking at visas and blah, 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 setting up supply chains here for our cake kits, and moved here 2.5 years ago. So end of 2019, right before the pandemic. And luckily kind of had already like set some things in stone with the production. So we were sort of okay, but it's been a hell of a ride these last 2 years, not gonna lie.
Incredible. Well, we are so excited that you're joining us here on Lunch Break Live. You can find the Caker, y'all. You can head over to all the social media. It's there. You can order it. Yeah. You can have it, I believe, delivered, picked up. It's so simple, the concept. Okay, back to the baking here. Can we see the mix?
Yeah. So yes. I've divided it between I'm just going to do 9. I've divided it between my 10 liners. They're about maybe like halfway up. And now I'm going to press in some strawberry quarters. So strawberries just coming into season. So happy about that. I've just prepped them by cutting off the greens and washing them and cutting them into quarters. And I'm just going to sort of dot about 3 of these quarters into each little cupcake and just press them down. And then what you're going to end up with when these are baked is just these big chunks of beautiful, juicy strawberry. And it just goes so well with that cinnamon flavor. Oh, and I forgot to mention, of course, I always do, that my oven is preheating to 340 degrees. Still getting used to Fahrenheit. Okay. These are going to be delish. And then I'm going to set a timer I'm going to set it for 20 minutes. These are going to bake fairly quickly, but we'll keep an eye. As I said, every oven is different. So one of the biggest challenges in being a food writer, and I've got 5 recipe books, which I've had to go through the rigmarole of coming up with the correct bake times and temps. And that's probably the trickiest part I find in recipe writing, because it is just, every oven is so different, and some run hot, some run cooler, some have a better spot on the left hand side of the second shelf. So you just have to get to know it a little bit. Sous chef, would you mind putting these in the oven for me?
Love it. And then, is it true that you have some of your boxes behind you on the shelves? Can we see what you have back there? Yes. I would love for you to bring those forward.
Totally. Let me just got some cake on my hand. Wipe that off. Yes, so let me show you.
And again, this is Jordan, the creator of The Caker. So take a look, everybody. You can order these. You can grab this and make this at home. Take it away.
Yeah, so this is the lemon, strawberry, and poppy seed one. It's really just summery and fresh. All you have to add is your choice of milk. I really love it with almond milk, and then just some lemon juice and some strawberries and some olive oil. And then there's the matcha cherry, which is it's kind of like in America. I've been finding people are a little bit afraid of this one for some reason, but it's my favorite in the whole line. Again, you just have to add like some milk, some olive oil, and some cherries. So super
Can we
easy.
see?
You
Hey,
literally end up with like, yeah.
can you show us the front of the boxes? Because there we go. Yeah, I want to see that one in the front.
Okay, so that's
Ooh.
technically the back, but that's what it looks like when it's baked.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then that's the strawberry one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it comes with like a glaze that the strawberry one has freeze dried strawberry powder in it, so it just tastes like the essence of a strawberry. It's amazing. Then there's the espresso dark chocolate, really rich, kind of intense caffeine hit with this one. I love it. And then we've got the coconut raspberry and lime leaf one, which is probably up there with our most popular flavor. And then this one we did in collaboration with an amazing photographer called Teza. So that's that one. But yeah, that you can get those products online, or they're at a few stores as well.
Amazing. My daughter's birthday's coming up. I'm definitely going to be grabbing one of these. I'm so excited.
I'll send you some. Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so of course I pre-made some cakes because we don't have time to bake them and cool them. But I thought what I could do with these baked ones is show you guys how to ice and decorate them. So voila, we have our tray of beautifully baked little mini cakes. So you can see the strawberries have like, dehydrated a little bit, and you just know that those are going to be tart and just delicious. So I'm really excited about those. And then what we're going to do for the glaze is it's a cinnamon glaze. I've got 100, which is like 1 cup of powdered sugar, and then a teaspoon of cinnamon. I've got some almond milk here. And all I'm going to do is gradually add tablespoon by tablespoon the milk, because I just want it to be the right consistency where it's liquidy enough to spread, but not so liquidy it's going to go everywhere. So start with 1 tablespoon and see how we go. It's just such a simple way to ice a cake with, just 3 ingredients, and so delicious. Add a little more.
And Tom says he'll take the entire tray. Tom, who watches from Chicago, says he'll just grab that espresso. Yum. Amira posted, thank you, Amira, for putting in the link so you can order these right away, everybody.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and welcome, Brendan. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Lunch Break Live, our daily show. Be sure to download the app, get it, the streaming service as soon as possible, Unchained TV, and back to you, Jordan.
So I've got my glaze here. It's come together really nicely. Just getting out a few little last lumps of that powdered sugar. So simple. And this is what you end up with. Just a little, it's not, we don't want to put a whole lot on, because I'm really a fan of desserts that aren't too sweet, even though that might sound contradictory. I do have an extreme sweet tooth, but I think I love everything sweet to be balanced out with some salt or, some acid. So this is going to be so good. So I'm just taking a spoon and kind of just spreading a little bit onto each little cake. I'm also of the school of thought that cakes should taste even better than they look. So it's very important that they look incredible. But for me, it's even more important that they taste incredible. But I also think that when something tastes incredible, it's naturally going to look incredible too, because something that's delicious tends to look delicious, I think. So we're just kind of applying a small amount of glaze to each one. And then we're going to decorate them, which is going to be Super fun. I'm going to add
Wow.
a little caker touch, which is the fresh flowers.
Oh, wow. Everything that you do
Yeah.
is so unique, Jordan, and so
Oh,
many
thank
special
you.
curated touches. Wow. So head
Thank
on
you so
over to see her
much.
social, everybody. Yes. I'm going to put in here how to find you. It's so easy. And again, just want to say, hey, everybody, share this out. Everybody could use a little more sweet in their lives, right? A little sweet treat. So
Oh,
how delicious. We're all
absolutely.
enjoying this with our eyes. We're getting kind of mouth-watering experience here. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one. It's, it's rustic. It's gonna be just so delicious. Now I want to decorate. I want to sprinkle on some little rice bubbles. Just keeping in theme with the rice milk, the strength that we're recreating in cake form, and these just add a little bit of crunch and texture. So just a little scattering of those rice puffs on each one. I'm actually going to edit the recipe I send you because I didn't have quite enough glaze for all 10. So I'm going to edit that slightly. And then I've just got some sliced up strawberries, which we're just going to place 1 or 2 on each one. I kind of like leaving the green on some of the pieces. And just again, like, just be free with it. I always say there's no rules around decorating a cake. It's just kind of let your hands guide you. The freer, the better, I think. So we'll just go ahead and place a little strawberry on each one.
And I'm just
Isn't
going
that just the easiest recipe?
That is the easiest recipe. We're going to be finding this over on UnChainedTV.com with thousands of other recipes. Again, reminding you to please head on over to the Caker and also the Caker NZ for New Zealand. And wow, Tom says these cakes would turn me into a competitive eater.
I love to hear it. That's such a compliment. Okay, and then for the final little touch, I can't believe how quickly we've powered through this. I've got some fresh roses here. So spray roses are my just lost one. Spray roses are my favorite flowers to decorate cakes with. They tend to last really well. They have a sturdy stem, which is just easy to place, directly into a cake. They're food safe, and they come in like really cool colors. So spray roses, you can get them at most places that sell flowers. And we're just gonna place one in. If you see any petals that you don't love the look of, you can kind of just peel them off the edge and just push up the little green parts and stick them in. And they just look so adorable. I'll hold one up in a second.
Wow, gorgeous. Oh my goodness, everybody, right? You want, now can you tell us what the flowers are again? They're roses, but is it a particular kind that's edible?
Yes, they're called spray roses, which just basically refers to the size of them. So one stalk will usually have like 5 or 6 buds on it. And they are technically edible. I don't recommend you sort of chomp into one. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever eaten, but they're more there for show. But they are, technically food safe. So, and they just take it to a whole other level, I think.
Gorgeous. All right. Well, let's show one more and then we'll let everybody head out for their day. Gorgeous. Look at this. You are definitely going to want to find this recipe over on UnChainedTV.com and head over to the Caker for all the offerings that Jordan presents and gives, and order your cake now. And we are going to see you next time. Thanks again for joining us on Lunch Break Live. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.